The story on Tuesday night in Game 2 of the Patrick Division Finals was the physical play of the New York Rangers. With star center Mark Messier out of the lineup, the Rangers' Adam Graves took the Penguins' Mario Lemieux out of action with a devastating slash. Then a little later, Chris King laid a heavy check on the Penguins' right winger Joey Mullen, sending him to the locker room for the rest of the night. The Penguins did, however, get the first goal of the game when Kevin Stevens scored on Pittsburgh's first shot of the night. But in the third period, Jeff Bukaboom tied the game with a well-placed slap shot. And 2 minutes later, Chris King got the game winner with under 6 minutes to play. The Rangers added an empty netter to win 4-2. Coming up next, it's Stanley Cup action once again in Pittsburgh as the Penguins host the New York Rangers.
Right wing to Keogh. Keogh has a man in front. He takes the shot. He scores! The Keogh scores. The Penguins win.
The Stanley Cup has come to the city of Pittsburgh. The 1991 Stanley Cup champions, the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Pittsburgh Penguin Hockey is brought to you by Giant Eagle, where there's a lot you can feel good about. By Discover Card. It pays to discover the card that pays you back. By Kendall Oil, formulated to protect your high-tech engine. Pour in the protection. By Pepsi-Cola. Chill out with Pepsi and the Penguins. Pepsi, great new look, same great taste. By Mellon Bank and the people at Mellon Bank. You're why we do our very best. By the Pennsylvania Lottery. Proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. By Pittsburgh Brewing Company. Proud to call Pittsburgh home. And by Ladbrokes Off-Track Betting, Wagering, and Dining Facilities in Newcastle, Greensburg, and Harmarville. We're the fast track to excitement.
It's a hockey night in Pittsburgh. Tonight from the Civic Arena, it's Game 3 of the Patrick Division final playoff round between the Penguins and the New York Rangers. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Civic Arena. The Penguins returning home after splitting the first 2 games of the Garden in New York. The Penguins will try and take the edge in this series and go ahead of the Rangers, but they're going to have a tough job of it because Mario Lemieux is out of the Penguin lineup along with Joey Mullen, both injured in Game 2. And we look at the situation, and the Penguins certainly are going to be in a little tougher shape because of the loss of these 2 guys.
They really are, Mike, and it's unfortunate because when we went to the morning skate today, very little talk about hockey, mostly about retaliation, what the Penguins are going to do to Adam Graves for what he did to Mario Lemieux. And Adam Graves met with the media today after the morning skate, and I asked him really, how he could justify the fact that he said he didn't intend to hurt Mario Lemieux when he shortened up on the stick, when he had a lot of time to deliver the blow and really realize what he was doing. And Adam Graves was singing the same song.
No, I think if I went over, tapes and that, I could find many a times when guys slash around the top of the hands and the stick. A lot of people are talking like, Adam Graves invented this move. I mean, you see it every game, and people that watch the game and know the game know that it happens all the time. And if I went through all the tapes of the 80 games throughout the season, I bet you I could find it between 40 and 50 times, if not once a game. I mean, for people to say that I went out and tried to hurt, I think I can play the game. It's not that I'm a goon or whatever. And I mean, it's the most important game of the year. We're down 1-0 in the first period, and we're penalty killing. It's a 5-on-4. Why would I go out to try and hurt a guy and put our team in jeopardy? I mean, it's ludicrous. I mean, I didn't try to hurt the guy, and I don't know. I'm getting tired of answering this because, I say what I feel and what I believe, and no one listens to me anyway, so.
Adam Graves will play in this game tonight. It's kind of hard to believe the National Hockey League couldn't look at the tape yesterday and make a decision sometime before noon today as to whether or not he should be suspended. The Vice President of the National Hockey League, Brian O'Neill, was in town today to hold his hearing, to look at the tape. He's going to hold a hearing with Adam Graves tomorrow and make his decision. And we asked Brian O'Neill today if he's at all concerned or if the league's concerned about the safety of Adam Graves.
We're very, very concerned about that, and I would just hope that the fans would understand that the league has this matter in hand and they will be dealing with it. It is a matter of grave concern, and clearly the proper precautions will be taken, and I know that the New York club will be as concerned about it as anybody. So, yes, it is a matter of concern that because of the type of player we're dealing with, the Mario Lemieux, he's obviously their favorite son here, and that stirs up the emotions a little more.
Does it change the judgment in any way, the fact that it's a superstar player when you guys are going over such incidents?
Oh, no, that can't be. We just cannot discriminate as between any player as to the fairness of our procedure.
So the issue remains, Mike, or I'm sure people will still wonder why the National Hockey League doesn't protect their superstar players, but tonight the Penguins have to win a hockey game. That's the most important thing. They can't retaliate to start with. They've got to put pucks in the net. That's what Scotty Bowman says will be the best aggression that they can use against the Rangers.
The fact is the Penguins have recalled two players, center iceman Jock Callender from Muskegon of the International Hockey League and right winger Mike Needham. They will both suit and play in all probability for Scotty Bowman tonight. In a moment, Game 3 of this playoff series, the Penguins and the Rangers, coming up right here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
The Rocky Mountains are picturesque, cold, and refreshing, and have positively, absolutely, totally nothing to do with beer or Pittsburgh. It's time to take action. It's time for you to write and star in your own beer commercial. Call the Pittsburgh Brewing Company at 692-1101 now.
Imagine a place where summer never ends. Orlando, Florida is the #1 family vacation destination in the entire USA. Royal Travel can take you there for only $2.99. Fly US Air round trip and stay 7 nights at an Orlando family resort, and kids under 16 travel for only $179. Explore the magical Walt Disney World and experience all the fun and excitement of Universal Studios Florida. Call your local travel agent or Royal Travel today to receive your free Orlando vacation brochure.
Iron Mike on rust.
I hate rust.
Iron Mike on tough.
This is tough. Rust tough. This is rust. Oleum? The dictionary defines tough as strong. Not easily influenced. Like me. The definition of oleum is... We sprayed this rusty metal plate with fast-drying rust tough, exposed the rusted metal, then placed it in the torture salt fog chamber. The rust didn't spread. It stayed tough. You want tough? What do you want? Oleum. Got rust? Get tough. Rust tough.
Dodge Dynasty. Compare it to any luxury car you can buy, and you'll find Dodge Dynasty is a better value. Now, 1,000 cash back or 4.9 financing mean the luxurious Dodge Dynasty is the obvious value choice during the Dodge Dare to Compare Challenge. See your Dodge dealer today and compare.
National Anthem. And here from the Civic Arena, David Dreyer sings our national anthem.
You see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The one thing that has happened in this series with the fact of what took place in New York in Game 2 is that this crowd is really into this game. Mike Richter starts for the New York Rangers 3-2 in the playoffs at 3.02 goals against average. Mark Messier and Darren Turcotte will not play tonight for the Rangers, and Tommy Barrasso, who has lowered his goals against average now down to 3.37, and he has won 5 games and lost 4 for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
He's allowed only 12 goals in the last 5 games. Referee tonight is Don Koharski. That's an important fact right there, and I think a good one too, because Don Koharski, I think, is the best referee in the National Hockey League as far as keeping games under control is concerned. And we'll have a scouting report to get to in just a moment, but right now we got to play some hockey, we hope.
And Randy Gillen, the former Penguin, steps in against Brian Trottier. Jaromir Jagr and Phil Bourque on the wings here for the Penguins. A puck dropped, and Jeff Bukaboom, the Ranger defenseman, wearing number 23, decked out in the traveling dark blue uniforms with the red pants, will swing it to the Penguins' end. And the Penguins, Ulf Samuelsson playing up to center. It's Trottier, Jagr, and Bourque for the Penguins to begin the game against the Gillen line. And he will feature Chris King and Paul Bratton. And here come the Rangers now carrying the puck back to center. Gillen is upended by Bourque on a heavy check at center, but Gillen still has the puck. Into the Penguins end, and Samuelsson runs into Gillen, and Gillen got hurt on that play. Puck back behind the Penguin net. Randy Gillen collided with Ulf Samuelsson. I think that Samuelsson's shield hit him. I think that's what happened. They hit faces, and I think that Ulf Samuelsson's shield caught Randy Gillen, the former Penguin. And he'll come to the bench. He was stunned. Now King comes after Phil Bourque. His tempers fly early. But Samuelsson catching Gillen at center ice. And my first reaction is that he collided with him, and that face shield that he wears caught Randy Gillen in the face.
Well, I'll tell you this much. He had his arms up in a kind of a double forearm type situation as he came at Gillen. And it looked like his head actually hit Gillen's face, the top of his helmet. You're right, Mike. I think it was his helmet, but not the shield. Well, I don't know. That's a pretty good call on your part. It's pretty close to being the shield or the top of the helmet into the face of Randy Gillen.
Now Gillen got himself to the bench, and apparently he's going to be all right. Now the Penguins now will make a line change here, and Ronnie Francis comes out with Kevin Stevens and Sean McEachran. And Adam Graves will center a line here with Joey Koser and John O'Grodnick. Look for McEachran at times tonight to match up against his former teammate at Boston University, Tony Amati. That's one of the Penguins. Here's Sweet shooting the puck into the Penguins in. Koser gets a shot on the rebound, but Barrasso stops that. Now right in front, it's Jimmy Pack. Leaves it ahead of Kevin Stevens. Arlen McEachran takes the pass on the right wing against Brian Leach. Trying to pull inside. Somebody lost a glove. It's Kevin Stevens. Now put in front. A shot by Francis deflected right in front of the net. And it comes off now to the Rangers, Joey Koser. Koser's going to slam it long to the Penguin goal. The Rangers want to get traffic in front of Tom Barrasso and diddle that for the Penguins. They want to work in front of goaltender Mike Ricker. I think he might be a little vulnerable in that department. On it sails to the Penguins in. The Penguins flip it back to the Ranger blue line. Mark Hardy over to the near side. The Rangers with the second best record in the league this year on the road. Along with the Washington Capitals, both teams had 45 points, only one behind the Detroit Red Wings, who had 46. And the Penguins are called for icing now, as McEachran takes a little whack back at James Patrick, and now Hardy comes over and slams him against the glass. Dan Erickson in there also. Ulf Samuelsson went in. It's an icing call against the Penguins. The tempers heat up here. Yuri Herdina right in the middle of the parade also. The Penguin center iceman.
Well, Kevin Stevens threw a vicious, I wouldn't say vicious, very clean, but very, very hard body check against James Patrick, finishing his check on the near boards. Patrick immediately looked over to Don Koharski as if Stevens had done something illegal. It was a clean body check. Something we don't see a whole lot of, it seems like, anymore. He came up a little high with that left arm on James Patrick, but then Patrick going in behind the net against Yuri Herdina, gave him a little shot to the back of the head, came in, gave him an extra push. And then Hardy stepped in.
Mark Hardy is the man. The one thing that Koharski does do an awful lot of, he'll see a retaliatory type of penalty, and he will call that penalty. And he felt that Hardy, after the play had been whistled down, was the man that was responsible here. And the penalty comes at 1:21. So the Penguins will employ the power play, and it'll be interesting to see who they work with here on this power play.
Of course, Hardy shakes his head in the box. He's off for roughing, and
this power play will be an Ironman advantage. Here's your list here if you need another one, Staggy. I don't think we're going to get through all those tonight. I hope not. We will be here all night. Like the Pirates last night against the Atlanta Braves.
of Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania is our contestant, and a $100 bill on the line from Iron City Beer.
Penguins just 1 for 9 in the 2 games on the power play against the Rangers. The series tied at 1. The Penguins have the home ice advantage right now. 3 of the remaining 5 games, should they all be needed, will be played right here at the arena. Ronnie Francis on here with Stevens and Jaromir Jagr. The point will be Murphy, and Phil Bork takes over the left point for the Penguins. And they dish it over to the near corner. John Callender can also play in the power play, and we expect him to see some time on that for the Penguins. Just recalled from Muskegon. And the Penguins slide it through the center, but cut off by Bukabo. He gave it away, and Bork, who has played both the wing and defense in his NHL career, and has played on the point, too, in the power play. Dish it off to Jaromir Jagr through traffic. No score first period. Jagr on the move. Giving the puck on the right side. Stevens look for it. Stevens taken out of the action. Good play by Brian Leach to get it for the Rangers, and he'll whack it down into Penguin real estate. Chasing for the puck will be Phil Bork. Bork dish it off again. It comes to Jagr. Jaromir through traffic, winds his way all the way to the Rangers end. Drop pass left side. Francis trying to shoot it. Ping pong off Jagr's leg. To Bork behind the net to Jaromir Jagr. Over to the right point to Larry Murphy. Penguins will take a little time, I think, to adjust here without Lemieux in the lineup on their power play. And it'll take a little while. And the Rangers golf it out of the zone. And Brian Leach has made 2 good defensive maneuvers for the Rangers here in the early going to clear the puck up ice. 59 seconds to go on the Mark Hardy penalty. Roughing the call at 1:21. Now McEachran scoots through traffic. He's on the move to the right side, skating well to the Rangers in. They shut him down, but he gets it up to Wolf Samuelson. Got around Paul Bryant. Samuelson comes in deep, right behind the net. It goes to Francis, but James Patrick made a nice defensive play again, and the Rangers clear it up and off the glove of Wolf Samuelson and on to Adam Graves. The Rangers going to shoot it down the length of the ice, and the Penguins are down to half a minute now left in the penalty to Mark Hardy. Murphy bursting up, and Gillen's back on. He's putting pressure on. Stevens carries the mail into the Rangers in, comes down with a wrist shot, blocked on the Ranger defense. And by Larry Murphy and on to center red. Up Samuelson giving the puck to Larry Murphy. He lost it to Jan Erickson. The Penguins losing Joe Mullen and Mario Lemieux for this game tonight out with injuries. And the Rangers with Mark Messier and also Darren Turcotte, 2 key members of their power play unit out. Stevens trying to shoot it, blocked. Picked up by McEachran of the Rangers in. 3 seconds to go on the penalty to Samuelson of Pittsburgh, left side. Samuelson looks. Throw it down behind the net. Around to Stevens. Stevens has McEachran in front. He wasn't waiting for a pass. The Rangers steal McEachran. Slow and coming back as the Rangers bring it to center, but Jan Erickson is taken out of the play, and McEachran has to call for somebody to come off the bench. That'll be one of the things here. Koser to the Penguins' own, a backhand shot. Barrasso able to stop it. Koser gets it again. Good play by Koser. Joey Koser in the near wing. Stevens putting pressure on him. Cavalier bangs him in. A shot, score! The Rangers, Adam Graves gets the goal. And the Rangers take a 1-0 lead. Right off the corner board, or the near boards, Adam Graves belting that puck by Barrasso. And the Rangers score first and lead 1-0.
Adam Graves is a heck of a hockey player. He scored 26 goals this year for the Rangers in the regular season. And turning out to the top of the circle and drilling one, catching Barrasso by surprise. He went down on the shot, and he went upstairs with the shot to the far corner. And I got to tell you something, Mike. One of the things that Scotty Bowman talked about when Darian Hatcher high-stick Kevin Miller in the series between Detroit and Minnesota was the fact that Hatcher got a chance to play another game. And he said, what if he had scored the game-winning goal in that game, and then the next day he's suspended? Does that make a lot of sense? Well, here's Adam Graves scoring the first goal of the game here tonight, and he may very well get a suspension tomorrow for something that he did in the last game. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Adam Graves now drags it through the center, and he'll wind it down behind the Penguin goal, and Barrasso sets it up for Grant Jennings. Jennings tried to clear the area, couldn't. Graves again with that puck behind the Penguin net, centers it. Here's a man open, and a shot by Gardner, and that was blocked. Picked up now by the Rangers. They come around and trying to step it in as Gardner, and he can't put it by Barrasso. Penalty coming up against the Penguins. Now Gardner and the Rangers are alive after getting that first goal. They're coming like bees around a hive. And we'll stop the action. Penguins will be penalized. 15:40 left in the first period. The Rangers won. The Penguins nothing on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Hey, what's this? Mac card, gas pump? Let's do a commercial. Can you see the camera over there?
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to hide from it.
Sir, are you buying gas here today? You need a shave. You can use your Mac card to pay for the gas that you pump. You get a full tank of gas today?
Yes, I did, sir.
And you're going to pay for it with your Mac card?
A lot handier than cash, I'll tell you that.
You know, we run out the house in the morning and we might be a little short of cash. And bam, there we go. You have a Mac card.
It's useful, it's friendly, it's flat, and it's got your name on it.
Mike Gardner on his knees trying to jam that puck past Barrasso. Bob Airy came flying in and picked up the charging penalty for that. Leaving his skates there, and Don Koharski making the call, so the Rangers have their first power play opportunity, and they already have a 1-0 lead on a goal by Adam Graves.
And the Rangers 1 for 5 with the power play. Brian Leach to the left side. Swing it over to Mike Gardner. Gardner trying to turn and shoot it. It was blocked by Ulf Samuelson. Now in the far corner, push to the left point, and here's Leach with a play down the center point to Patrick. Over to the left wing circle to Mike Gardner and the Rangers. Back to Leach. He lets that heavy shot go, deflected in. The Rangers lead 2-0. Tim Kerr deflected it in, I believe, and the Rangers get a power play goal, and they're up 2-0. So Tim Kerr, I believe, got that blade on the shot by Brian Leach, and the New York Rangers lead 2-0. 4:36 the time of the goal. Took just 16 seconds for the Rangers to score after the penalty to Bob Airy.
Already the special teams playing an important role. The Penguins failed to click on their power play chance. Good penalty killing by the Rangers. And the Rangers get their first power play opportunity, and they take a 2-0 lead on their first power play goal of the hockey game. Chinov right in front. Samuelson bumping him from behind, but it hit his skate. And that's Tim Kerr who gets the goal.
And Sergei Nemchinov, so the Rangers 1 for 1 and now 2 for 6 on the power play in the series against the Penguins. And lofts it back into the Penguins' end, and Barrasso tries to wind it ahead, and he will off the boards and back to the Rangers' zone. The penalty kill by the Rangers and the goal by Adam Graves has given them a big spark here, and they're turning it on now against the Penguins. They lead 2-0. Bob Airy trying to take it away. Dumped it down the near side, but Patrick intercept for the New York Rangers. Mike Gardner swinging back into his own end. And the Ranger right winger lifted in behind the Penguin goal. Barrasso came after it. He handles the puck. Leave it near side. Gardner has it. Shoot it back towards the goal, and Gordy Roberts blocked it with a leg. On come the Penguins now, and Troy Looney drifting the puck left wing to Bob Airy. In against Richter. Puts a shot on, and he runs right into him, but Richter made the save on Bob Airy. And the Rangers again deliver it back to center to Mike Gardner. A big booming shot in on Barrasso, and he makes that stop. The Rangers have outshot the Penguins 9-1 here in this first period, and they lead 2-0. Slip back in behind the Penguin net, and right now the Penguins look disorganized. They just can't get themselves in sync against this Ranger squad. Bill Bourque on the play up the center, going the right wing against the Rangers. Stops looking. Buchelbo takes a piece of him, and now the Rangers will be in a position here where they can play more of their game too from a physical standpoint, because they've got a 2-goal lead against the Penguins. Off to the left point, Jennings of Pittsburgh. He is crunched on a check by Gillen. The puck behind the net, centered out, but Yager can't get to it, and Chris King of the Rangers controls. King on the play up. Put it back to center circle. Brad Jennings of Pittsburgh again looking for the puck. Got it to Yager, and he is pushed into the boards by Jeff Bukaboom. And off the biscuit he goes. And the Rangers gun back the other way. Brian Leach, who's played strong in this first period, has the puck again for the Rangers. Leach shot it by Stevens and on to center, and the Rangers just simply clear it out of their own end. And Trottier's going to dump it in. Richter will handle the puck. Left it for Bukaboom, and Bukaboom around the boards. And that hit off something and went into the crowd, and we'll get a stop and play. 13 and a half left in the first period. The Rangers 2 and the Penguins nothing on the Penguins Hockey Network.
These are the machines of the 90s.
Fuel injection, overhead cams, multi-valve.
Today's high-tech engines demand high-tech protection. Kendall Motor Oil is specifically designed to provide the ultimate protection against heat and wear under the most extreme conditions. Don't take a chance with your high-tech engine. Use Kendall Motor Oil, formulated to protect your high-tech engine. Kendall Motor Oil, pour in the protection. Kendall, available at these locations.
New York Rangers, who were the third highest scoring team in the National Hockey League this year, get two within a span of 51 seconds, and they lead 2-0. Shot from the left point by Jimmy Pack, denied by Richter. And there's nothing you want better than to work with a lead here on the road, especially in a playoff game, and get the lead here and try and take the crowd out of the action, and that's what the Rangers have done here, as the Penguins did in New York in Game 1. Now Ulf Samuelson feeds it up to center to Kevin Stevens. Drop it to Ronnie Francis. His shot, and Richter down low to his knees to make the save on Ronnie Francis and hold it out. Now Francis belted on a play around the net by one of the Rangers. That was Jay Wells.
Don Koharski right there telling Ronnie Francis what to do and what not to do in that situation. Koharski is a take charge referee. Shot by Ronnie Francis down low, and Richter was able to squeeze that puck between his pads.
Now McEachran will play the right wing here in this line now with Francis and Stevens.
McEachran really showing much more confidence when he gets the puck, really using that speed and that puck handling ability to put pressure on the defenseman on that left side when he comes down the right wing. Just having a tough time finishing the play when he gets in around that net. And the longer he goes without scoring, Probably the more that plays on his mind and the more nervous he is with the puck when he does get it in the scoring position. And once he gets that first one, you would think that he'll really settle down and be able to maybe add a few more goals to his stat sheet.
Now Leach comes on and Hardy off, and so the Rangers will have Hardy and Patrick paired up together on the defensive end. And the face-off to the right of Mike Richter, the Ranger goaltender, and it's dropped in the zone and picked up by Brian Leach. Leach winded around the boards. Not out. Murphy right point whistles one to the net, and that's not by Richter's stick. And along the near side, the Rangers clear to center. Gordy Roberts over to Larry Murphy, and on the play, they feed it ahead to Francis into the Rangers' inner wrist shot, hit the side of the net, rebound, and Richter threw a stick at that puck and knocked it wide. Now loose around the goal, and it's cleared away to the far corner. Richter threw a stick at that puck as it was around the net. Now off the far side, and play is stopped. That might have been a penalty there on Mike Richter for throwing the stick at the play. But they'll stop the action in the right wing corner. Mike Richter around that goal, keeping the Penguins off the board.
Ronnie Francis let go of that wrist shot in a hurry. Kind of caught Richter by surprise. Put it off the side of the net. And Richter reaching out with a stick and apparently throwing it at Ronnie Francis. He tried to stuff it in again, coming out from behind the goal, and couldn't do that. And then Stevens got the puck behind the net. And Richter able to stop Francis as he tried to stuff it in. He was lucky Francis didn't score a goal against him. He had him beaten, but he just hit the side of the net.
Richter from the Philadelphia area. 12:41 left here in this first period. The Rangers leading Pittsburgh 2-0. We joined us late. Adam Graves is fifth of the playoffs, and Tim Kerr on a power play. And the Penguins can't control here, and Graves brings it on to center, and he'll wind it up ahead to Tony Amani, going to the Penguins' end. Trying to be packed one-on-one. Goes to the net. He can't turn it over. Penguins chase the play out of their own end, and they feed it on the center to Sean McEachran. McEachran, left wing to Stevens, moves in, takes a shot, put it in front, loose puck there. Penguins can't get to it, and hauling down Francis with Tony Amani, as Francis appeared to have himself in position for a good chance with the net open. And Tony Amani, if there is such a thing as a good penalty, I believe took one there. 2-0 Pittsburgh, and the first will return on the Penguins Hockey Network.
It cost me over $500 last year. You know what for? For doing the right thing. For having a mammogram, yearly physical, routine OBGYN visits. My health insurance didn't cover any of it. And this stuff could actually save your life. Now I'm with Health America. And you know what I pay for all of these things? Nothing.
Why pay more to do the right thing? Health America responds again.
Don Bayer of Wilmerding, PA, has an opportunity to win $100 from Iron City Beer as Tony Amani goes to the box for a holding. Kevin Stevens held onto that puck forever, tried to go in front to Francis, and he was tackled by Tony Amani in front of an open net. Stevens pulled Richter right out of the goal.
Left point, here's Bork of the Penguins. Right side to Larry Murphy. As this power play goes along, I think it'll go a little stronger just from game action. They can practice it all you want on the ice, but it's not the same as being in the game. Bork now on the near boards, trying to keep possession of it, but it's worked pretty nicely by Randy Gillett, and up ice it goes. The Rangers have the top penalty killing unit in the National Hockey League this year. They're at 84.2% in the playoffs right now. This is a tremendous percentage. They've allowed only 6 power play goals in the game so far. Bork carries it in, but lost it to Bukaboom, and Bukaboom winds it down to the Penguin net. The strong point of the Rangers, of course, they have great balance. Got good goaltending all year, but their special teams have been very strong. That's why they were the #1 team in the National Hockey League this year. They won the President's Trophy. This series tied at 1, and the Rangers again whack it down the ice. The Penguins again trying to get themselves in sync here, of course, without Mario Lemieux in the Pittsburgh lineup. 1:04 to go on the penalty to Tony Amani. And Murphy delivers it over to Wolf Samuelson. Throw it around to the right wing corner. Yager went in. Can he get to it? He does, but he throws it around the horn, and James Patrick skating well. Shoots it ahead for the Rangers and on to center. Murphy again sets it up. The Rangers have been pretty much in control of this game against the Penguins for the most part in the first period. Steven over to Ronnie Francis. Has a little room. Comes out. Goes to Wolf Samuelson. Back it over now to Larry Murphy. Fan out a shot. Put it in front. And it hit the skate of Stevens and went to the far corner. Patrick trying to clear. Can't get it out. Right point. Here's Murphy of the Penguins against Nemchinov. Giving the puck to Ron Francis. Back to Larry Murphy. Slap shot. Save made. Rebound. Yager's flattened by Hardy right in front of the net. Knocked the goaltender over. Now in the far corner, it's Yager again with the puck. The Rangers have now shot the Penguins 9-1. It's now 9-7. Francis on to Yager, and it went right by his stick. And hops all the way back to Penguin real estate. Barrasso hurries it along. The Rangers interchange. Off Samuelson. Right wing to Ronnie Francis. Might be a little tired. And that's one of the things Lemieux has so much over other players. He can stay on for 2, 3, 4 minutes at a time and be strong as a bull. Other players just cannot do that. And Ronnie Francis, I think, in that category can give you a strong minute and a half, but it's awfully tough for him to go at the pace working all the plays in traffic. And now with 10:16 left here in the first, with the Penguins trailing 2-0, the penalties expired and will return on the Penguins Hockey Network.
The sun, the surf, the sand, the babes, the beach. The truth, it's 3,000 miles away and has nothing to do with Pittsburgh or beer. It's time to take action. It's time for you to write and star in your own beer commercial. Call the Pittsburgh Brewing Company at 692-1101. Now.
Assistant coach Rick Kehoe worked with the power play today. They had 2 units practicing in the morning skate, trying their best to get in sync with the little amount of time that they had to work on it. Remember, Yager was flattened in front of the net right after he had the puck by Mark Hardy and went bowling right over Mike Richter in the Ranger goal. And you mentioned about Ronnie Francis, another factor with Lemieux being able to, oftentimes he waits up by the blue line or at center ice, waits, and that's his chance to take a rest on the power play, whereas Francis, in this situation particularly, has to be a guy that's going to go back and forth up and down the ice, and that's going to tire him out even more.
There's any question about that. And Paul Stanton up ahead to center off Loney's stick, cut off now by the Ranger Jay Wells, and he'll slide it behind the Penguin end off Jennings' stick, comes in front of Monty's got an open net, but he can't shoot it. The Graves will fire off the Penguins. Defenseman Grant Jennings, who went diving out to make the play. Tense moment there. The Rangers almost got goal number 3. Now Erie carries the puck on the right wing against Cirilla. 1-on-2, comes in and shoots it. And Ricker was leaning the wrong way, but he got a stick out to make the save on Bob Erie. Here's Erdina. The Penguins trying to leave it. Goes alone. He shoots it, and it just went wide on the far post. Erdina off the right side of Stan. He shoots it, hit the side of the goal. Stan's had a lot of problems in the playoffs this year, trying to find the net. He's not been able to get the puck on goal. And that's important, but he's just not been able to do it. And here's Pack touching it. And we get an icing call against the New York Rangers. And nobody's more bothered by that fact than Paul Stanton himself, because he just realizes it's important to get the puck on the net, but he's just not been able to find that 4x6 area. Jimmy Pack coming off.
And Jennings had a
play by Barrasso to knock it off a Monty's stick. That's what happened.
Jennings was really the victim of a bad hop off the boards there, and then he went diving out to try to block a shot after he got back in front of the net. Barrasso was still trying to scramble back in. Bob Erie really flying here in the first period. And Yuri Erdina failed to get the puck off the boards. Paul Stanton shot it off the side of the net. Well, he got it back to the net in a hurry. That's really about all he could do there, was just get it in the direction of the goal. He didn't have much time to work with it.
Well, the truth is, it would have been on the net if it not hit a skate. And here's Murphy blasting one right to the goal. So my apologies. Stevens has it. He missed the shot from 30. Here's Murphy firing. He missed the net also. Penguins can't find that 4x6 area right now. Stevens behind the net, going to Ronnie Francis. McEachran's in front. They slide it out to Murphy. Backhander. Good save by Ricker. Rebound. Where is it? It goes to McEachran in the right wing corner. Penguins now putting pressure on the Rangers here, trying to get back into it. They trail 2-0. Francis in front, stopped by Stevens. Hey! Shoots and scored! Kevin Stevens makes it 2-1. Oh, Buccadano! Stevens gets the Penguins' first goal.
Right from the beginning of this series, the Penguins really believed that they could work the puck down low against the New York Ranger defense. And I know Kevin Stevens was one guy who felt particularly confident in his ability to get around the net, find open space, and be able to score goals as he did right there. He arrived in the right spot, and Ronnie Francis with an absolutely perfect pass, threading the needle past 2 Rangers in front, right onto the stick of Stevens, and he had easy pickings on Mike Richter to make it 2-1.
I think McEachran will also get an assist as he went to the corner. Stevens will get the goal, his 6th, and it's now a 2-1 game. Well, that goal important for the Penguins for a couple of reasons. One, it brings the crowd back into the game, and 2, it does not give the Rangers a shutout in the first period, if you know what I'm talking about. They don't have that total confidence now driving along. What the Penguins have to be careful for here is not to give up another quick goal, and the Rangers are very capable of doing that.
Another thing, Mike, I think in this situation that's good for the Penguins is that they're making things happen in the offensive zone. They were missing the net, and I think getting a goal there is kind of a reward for the fact that they've been making things happen, and that's going to boost their confidence from an offensive standpoint.
After the Rangers had dominated the first part of the period out shooting the Penguins 9-1, the Penguins have had the last 10 shots on goal. And they've made it 2-1. Montreal and a Mike Keane goal, leading Boston 1-0 at Boston in the first period. That playoff series, the Bruins lead 2-0. This one, the Rangers have the advantage here. 2-1 over the Penguins. Graves playing center ice with Messier and Turcotte out. And Kosar and Ogrodnik will be the wings. And Mark Hardy drills it up into the Penguin zone. It comes off the left side, and Ogrodnik hauls it in. Ogrodnik, a former 50-goal scorer with the Detroit Red Wings, and he is an excellent guy to bring into your lineup. They brought him in Game 2. He's played pretty well. Trottier going rink wide, intercepted by Mark Hardy. The Ranger defenseman back to James Patrick, who may be the sleeper of this Ranger core all year. The point production that he had, a plus-minus of +33. And he had a standout year. Here's Patrick shooting. Save made by Barrasso. A rebound off Barrasso's arm again and wide. As Ogrodnik almost put it in. This is what I'm talking about. The Penguins not wanting to give up that quick goal again to give the Rangers a 2-goal advantage. But the Rangers threaten here, and they put the pressure on. Now digging near side. Court tied up by Adam Graves, and they'll freeze it, and the Penguins in. Give the Rangers some credit. After giving up the goal, they've come back to work on the pins. 8:05 left in the first. It is 2-1 New York on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Stanley Cup has come to the city of Pittsburgh. One space left on that Stanley Cup for the Penguin names to go on. The 1991 Stanley Cup champions, the Pittsburgh Penguins, have just left the building.
Visit the Penn's Pro Shops in South Hills Village and Century 3 Mall, featuring an exclusive line of 25th anniversary merchandise. To order by phone, call 642-2019.
Savor the silver.
Tom Barrasso very strong around the Penguin goal, stopping a couple of quick shots, first by Graves. The original one was by Patrick, and then Graves' opportunity.
Well, that was a great chance, and Barrasso just got his stick glove or the top of his pad on that shot by Adam Graves, who was looking for his second goal tonight.
Pens have Jock Calendar, who played with the Penguins, right in front of the net. Chris King against the Calendar line with Mike Needham, his first NHL game. Needham is crunched by King, but up in the play, Paul Stanton shoots it ahead. Both teams trying to gain possession of the puck, and Stanton will get it. Here's Stanton to the Ranger zone. Comes down, stops, looks, shoots it right on the net, and Richter caught that as Needham went in front of the goal. Now Calendar takes a little bump from Joe Cirilla. Calendar, big center iceman.
I'll tell you something, Mike. Guys who come from the International Hockey League, particularly ones who spent a lot of time there, like Jack Calendar, and even to an extent Needham, who's had enough games down there to understand those guys face more cement heads than any players would ever face in the National Hockey League. They deal with them all the time because there's just a lot of goons down there in that league. And a guy like Link Gates, for instance, the guy we saw playing for San Jose this year, who was running around the whole time, he was a guy who played a lot of games down there. So they're not intimidated by anything like that. With Chris King, you saw him take a little bit of a run at Needham. And in case you think that a young guy coming into a situation like this is going to be intimidated physically, that's not the case, because he's coming from a league where there's a lot of that stuff. And he scored 41 goals in Muskegon this season. Good year for Mike Needham. Talented hockey player.
Fourth-round draft choice of the Penguins.
78 points in 80 games, and he had 8 points in 8 playoff games before joining the Penguins.
In the right wing circle, the Rangers in. Calendar trying to win the draw against Gillen, and Gillen kicks it away, and the Rangers have possession. They can't get it out, though. It goes back in behind the net. Jay Wells after a 2-1 New York, and Needham puts a shoulder check into one of the Rangers. Both Calendar and Needham playing on the same line here with Bob Airy. Gillen brought it to the Penguin stripe, and he shoots it in. The Rangers get it behind goaltender Barrasso, who will leave the puck for Paul Stanton. Stanton skating quickly to the right of his own net. Dump it up to center off Bob Airy's stick. A bouncing puck. Calendar has a good pass right side after it Needham. Airy was knocked down. Here's Needham one-on-one now against the Ranger defenseman Cirilla. And it goes behind the goal. Now Airy had his helmet knocked off as he scooted into the Rangers in. The play is whistled down. And they'll stop the play there. And the face-off will be in the Rangers' end to the right of goaltender Mike Richter. We'll return in just a moment. The Penguins trail New York 2-1 in Game 3 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Drop our new Magnum V8 into a Dodge Ram 150 full-size pickup, and you'll get more horsepower than Ford and Chevy's 5-liter V8s. Now, cashback and package savings mean total savings of up to almost $4,200, making the Ram 150 the obvious choice during the Dodge Dare to Compare Challenge. See your nearest Dodge dealer today and compare.
Jay Wells of the New York Rangers, an elbowing call at 12:49. For elbowing one of the Penguins. Apparently that was Jock Calendar that got hit. By the way, Mike Needham was a 6th-round draft choice of the Penguins, not a 4th, out of Calgary, Alberta. Played at Kamloops. Played last year at Muskegon, and this year also, where he had 41 goals. Penguins on their 3rd power play chance. They're 0 for 2. And the Rangers again driving down the boards. Well, the one thing the Penguins will get out of this first period is at least practice on the power play.
Laura Hardy of Washington, PA will have a chance to win $100 in the Penguins power play.
Stevens scooting up. Yager and Stevens work the wings here for Ronnie Francis. And Murphy and Bourque will remain the point men. Yager is hit, but Francis trying to feed it through to the right side. It's cut off. Ronnie Francis, who set up the Penguins' first goal by Kevin Stevens. Their only one of the night. And Barrasso gets the puck to Larry Murphy. Murphy's pass up to center, and Francis will leave it for Kevin Stevens. Wind his way into the Rangers' end, but he left the puck right to Brian Leach, and Leach has an easy time lifting the puck back to Penguin territory. And at 16 to go on the penalty to Jay Wells. Ranger defenseman went off for elbowing at 12:49. Pittsburgh fires into the left wing corner. Yager was in against Patrick, and Patrick taken into the corner and out of the action by Yager. Stevens trying to get the loose biscuit, and Patrick has his skates in there, and they'll freeze it, and the face-off will take place to the right of Mike Richter.
Mike, I mentioned about Ronnie Francis being the guy who has to go back and get the puck. Well, the Penguins have kind of made him the Mario Lemieux on the power play. He just waited up by the blue line and stood there like a statue. And so Phil Bourque and Larry Murphy are going to have the job of bringing that puck up ice. Bourque is good at carrying the biscuit. He carries it with speed. The key for him, though, is going to be once he gains the zone to be able to maintain possession of it and find the open man at just the right time, or to move the puck at the right time in the neutral zone to get the Penguins the kind of advantage they're going to need to get across that blue line and set up on the power play. Bourque is a great one-timer. He's probably the best on the Penguins team at one-timing the puck from the point. He tends to bury his head sometimes when he does it, but he gets a good hard shot off down low, and he's liable to score a goal or two on the power play if he has an extended amount of experience on it during this playoff series.
6:15 left here in this first frame. The Rangers lead Pittsburgh 2-1. That had nothing to do with his shooting the puck on the net, but he is the all-time penalty minute later. And here is Francis to take the assignment here against Randy Gillen, to the right of Mike Richter. Ranger goal scorers have been Adam Graves and Tim Kerr. And the Penguins, Kevin Stevens poked it in. The Rangers win this face-off, and Mark Hardy sails it up towards the Penguin net, and Tom Barrasso. Murphy of the Penguins cutting to the left of his own net. On the play to Stevens, on the right wing down to Bourque. Bourque's going to throw it off the glass. It goes behind the Ranger goal. Richter's going to move it over quickly. Comes back in front of the net. It was a quick shot by Francis. Richter held his ground and made the save in front. Francis again. What a save by Richter on Ronnie Francis from 15 feet. He just caught that puck right out of midair, and Richter, a sprawling, magnificent save there. The Ranger netminder keeping the Penguins from tying the game.
Boy, what a play, and equally amazing the way Ronnie Francis was able to get that shot away. Pretty much redirecting that pass from Kevin Stevens. He just kind of put the stick out there and gave it a push and was able to make that puck jump up towards the top of the net, but Richter, tremendous reflexes, able to get his glove on that shot by Ronnie Francis.
Now Francis is going to move back and play the left point with 40 seconds left. Murphy will take the right side, and Trottier will be in with Sean McEachran and Kevin Stevens. Penguins coaching staff showing a lot of confidence in McEachran, hoping that he can break himself loose and get on that scoreboard. They certainly have given him every opportunity, and let's see what happens here. I believe McEachran got an assist on that first goal. We'll have to double check. We're not getting these right away. And here's Murphy, right point, with the puck. Shooter towards the net. Stop by Richter, and now there's no rebound as Stevens had a stick knocked out of his hands by Bukovo. Watch Stevens whack away at the pads of Richter, and that's not unusual, but Koharski warning Bukovo. No more.
See, I love that. I mean, this guy knows how to control a hockey game. He's not just making calls when something happens. He goes up and he controls the game. He tells players what they can and cannot do. They know the limits that they have. He just knocked the stick out of Stevens' hand. He was lightly holding the stick there in one hand. Bukovo just knocked it out of his hand. He bumped Stevens out of the way. Stevens skated away, and that wasn't enough. He had to get a little shot and knock the stick out of his hand. And to establish that territory in front of his goaltender, Mike Richter. Jeff Bukovo, big, strong defenseman for the Rangers.
This face-off, Gillen battling for it. Who's going to get it? It comes free to the Rangers, and they will poke it through, and that's a big face-off win by Randy Gillen and the Rangers, killing some valuable time on the Penguins' third power play opportunity. The Rangers are 1 for 1 tonight. That's the go-ahead goal right now. Murphy swing it down the boards and in behind the Penguin net, and Richter's going to glove it, and he comes out in front. Where's he going to go with it? He tried to throw it, but the whistle had sounded. Richter really didn't have too much room to work with there. And he just elected to hold on to that puck, and we'll get a face-off again, and the Rangers in with 14 seconds left here on the penalty to Jay Wells. And the Penguins trying to take advantage of this situation. Mike Richter out of Abington, Pennsylvania.
He actually played a game here in Pittsburgh, Mike, one time as a youth hockey player for the traveling Flyers team against a team from Pittsburgh.
Played at Wisconsin University, the U.S. national team, the Olympic team. Played with Colorado in the International League, Flint in the IHL, now the Rangers for the last couple of years. Make it 3 years now, including this one.
Another draft choice of Craig Patrick's, and he was general manager of the Rangers.
And Gillen stares in now at Trottier. And here we go in the right wing circle. And a battle for it. Rangers reach in. Can they get it out? They can't right now. Bukaboom pressured by Stevens. Bukaboom is hit. Now Bukaboom will knock Stevens down. Here up the near boards. Brian Leach trying to clear it out. Can't pack. Swing it back into the corner. The Rangers will get back to equal strength in 1 second. And a big check by the Penguins. Trottier on the Rangers. McEachran put it in front of one right by Stevens' stick. Now Jay Wells on the ice for the Rangers. And he'll throw it up the right wing side. Carrying me to the Penguins in. Barrasso's going to leave the puck for Jimmy Pack. Turned around nicely and a check by Jan Eriksson. Barrasso comes over. He's got the puck and he'll leave it for Brian Trottier. Well, that's Barrasso's ability there to get behind that net on all occasions and work just like a defenseman with that puck. And Samuelson, the Penguin blue liner, shoots it in. Shell Samuelson still out of the Penguin lineup along with Rick Tocchet. Wendell Young not playing tonight. And here's Bob Airy back behind the net. The Penguin goaltender. And of course, you've got Lemieux and Mullen out. And the Rangers now behind their own end. Can't get it. Mary turns around, centers it. Went right by a man. Comes to Roberts. He has a chance coming down. Penalty Rangers again. Shot towards the net. Richter makes that save. And now Loney's going to take a penalty back here as he whacks Chris King. That's going to even it up. Loney's going to get a penalty for retaliation. And now Bob Airy is in there against the Rangers. But the Rangers had the initial penalty coming. And then Loney took a whack at Chris King. And who knows, the way Bob Airy's in there, the Penguins might even end up shorthanded in this situation. You've got to be careful.
I'll tell you something, Mike. Bob Airy is absolutely inspired in this hockey game, and he was just working so hard for the Penguins on those backboards on that last shift, making things happen for the Pens. Determined.
Mark Hardy has gone off, but I think Troy Loney will equal that up. And we'll return the Rangers 2, the Penguins 1 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
For the last time, name the secret ingredient that gives Diet Pepsi an unfair advantage. Well, what is it?
It's like this, baby. You know it's cause the taste says, baby. You got the right one, baby.
With 100%
Penguins working so hard, keeping that puck alive in the Rangers zone. Bob Airy in particular was very tenacious. Gordy Roberts threw a backhand shot to the net. Hardy got the high sticking penalty, and then Loney came in and gave a little punch right to the face of Chris King. Really took a shot at him and picked up the roughing penalty.
Well, they're coincidental minors. The Penguins have the puck, and Jimmy Pack plays it off a stick and over the glass behind Richter, the Ranger goaltender. Well, the Penguins 0 for 3 on the power play in the first period. The Rangers 1 for 1, and that's the difference in the game at the moment, with the Rangers leading 2-1. Penguins again have a very tough start. They were outshot 9-1, but they've outshot the Rangers now 15-3 from that point on.
You're seeing the fact that the Penguins, even without Mario Lemieux, can still generate plenty of offense.
It's amazing. The Rangers, since the 1st of February, Paul, have been on the road in a plane away from home only 3 times. That's it, 3 times. All the other games have been by bus within the division and or in the playoffs. So this is the first time in since the 8th grade picnic that they've been on the road in the playoffs. And but only 3 times have they gone away for any extended travel at all since the 1st of February.
Genesis Video Productions is having a buy one get one free sale. Buy any game of your choice and get the second one free. To place your order, call 1-800-TRY-PENS. Operators are standing by to take your credit card order. Cost is only $19.95. See the Penguins on video.
1-800-TRY-PENS. Big John will be waiting for you to call, and it's shot to the net, and Richter's going to come up with it. And again, put that in his paw. Well, the Rangers in the first 2 games had 38 shots the first game, 37 the second, so they've had a lot of shots against the Penguins. And now the Penguins have had 17 already here in this first period. Montreal still leading Boston on a Keane goal. That's a Mike Keane goal, 1-0 at the Garden in Boston. That series, the Bruins lead it 2-0, winning both games at the Forum in Montreal, the last one in overtime. And Erdina races in. Gillen took him out of the action, and around it comes near side, and the Rangers again stuff it back to the Penguin line. Alf Samuelsson threw it up off the stick of Erdina. Would have been a two-line pass, and that is going to be the call. Even though it hit a stick and went to the bench, it's called on a two-line offside pass against Pittsburgh. We give the penalties. Hardy a high sticking minor, and Loney a roughing call at 15:35, just to set you straight on that. Coincidental minors. Game 4 of this series will be on Saturday night here at the arena. Game 5 at New York on Monday. Graves again will step in here. Working with Ogrodnik and Joey Koser. New York leading 2-1. They got their goals 51 seconds apart in the first period. Alf Samuelsson putting pressure on, but now Jaromir Jagr gets to it. And out the center will come to Yuri Erdina. Erdina scoots down the right wing against Wells. Leaves the puck for Jagr. Jagr trying to make his way in around the net, and Graves will deck him, put him on his wallet. And the Ranger Joey Koser hit by Phil Bourque, and the puck moved by the Rangers and up all the way to Penguin real estate. Again, Barrasso settles it in for Alf Samuelsson. Alfie's lead pass too far for Jagr, and Richter's going to have to play the puck as Jagr came screaming in to that zone. Richter made the right play there. Crowd upset that he did, but he made the right play with Jagr, the lone man, coming back. And when in doubt, just grab the puck and hold on. Not going to score when you have it in your hand.
Well, you would think, Mike, with Mark Messier out and Adam Graves in danger of being suspended, that's going to really put the Rangers in a tough situation as far as their center icemen are concerned. Of course, there's the possibility that Mark Messier might be able to return in the next game. Nevertheless, Adam Graves, a guy who has played center. In fact, he played a lot of center in junior hockey, and it's not a new position for him. He just moves over. He's been playing the wing, the left wing, with Mark Messier all season long. With Messier out, he steps into that center ice position, and he'll be able to handle that without much problem. But he might not be in the lineup the next game.
3:20 left here in the first period, and again, the Rangers have had pretty good success here in the faceoffs. Deliver it back to center. Get it on. Murphy shoots it back into the near side of the Ranger zone, and after it will be Mike Gardner, and he is belted on a check by Francis, but Francis took the worst of that as he went down on the ice, and Gardner flying down the right wing. Gardner moving to the Penguins' end, trying to beat defenseman Roberts, and he'll swing him wide and off the puck. Murphy handles it for the Penguins. In traffic, right point, though. It comes to the open man. Bukaboom, a shot, save made. Rebound. Francis knocked down one of the Rangers. A score by the Rangers. Oh, they put it in right in front. They jam it in, and a big collision around the Penguin net, and the New York Rangers now have a 3-1 lead. Nemchinov will get the goal. Boy, Ronnie Francis really flattened one of the Rangers, and I thought there would be a penalty on the play, but by doing so, it opened it up around the net. And the Rangers picked it up, and Nemchinov, I think, gets his first playoff goal of the year.
It was Mike Gardner that got flattened. The Penguins got crossed up. Their signals crossed. Two defensemen behind the net. The shot came out. Barrasso made the save.
Ericsson's the man that got hit there.
And Gardner was also down. Right in front of Barrasso, and he was screaming to Koharski that he had been interfered with. But the real problem there with the fact that Barrasso had to handle the puck, there were two defensemen there, and Larry Murphy didn't know which way to go with it. And the Rangers were able to get a good shot from the point, and then Nemchinov going to the net, finding the loose puck and putting it into an open cage to make it 3-1.
Well, Nemchinov, who had 5 in the regular season against the Penguins, gets his first in the playoff competition, and they need him if they're going to make things happen in this playoff year, especially with Messier and Turcotte out of the lineup. So Nemchinov comes up big, and the Rangers now lead 3-1. 17-14, the time of the goal. Eriksson and Bukaboom, the assist on the goal by Nemchinov, who just found that loose puck about 20 feet from the net and fired it in. And the Rangers now have a 2-goal lead. Jeff Bukaboom's having a big series. 2 goals in game 2 and an assist here on this one. And wristed up into the Penguins' end. Bob Airy trying to find the puck. Looks for it near side, and Airy now hit heavily by Paul Broughton. Broughton has thrown out a lot of checks like it's the first of the month in this series. He's been very consistent. Number 37, Paul Broughton. And delivered down the right wing into the Rangers zone. Trottier went after it. Now Jagr takes command of it. Jagr of the Penguins comes out. Looking, trying to get away from a stick check, and he shoots it. Was blocked. Randy Gillen had a stick into him and did not allow him to shoot the puck. Stevens in the near corner behind the net. Trottier. And it'll be Jagr again taken out of the action. Penalty coming up, and who's that going to be against? It's going to be against the Penguin Jaromir Jagr, I believe. And Gillen was all over him. Penguins will be penalized, and Yager's going to get the call. Gillen kind of goaded him into that one. Maybe realizing what upsets Yager, but he did a good job of it, and Yarmer retaliated and whacked him back, and that's the type of penalty we've talked about here that Koharski is very prone to call.
Yager dug the blade of his stick right into the belly of Randy Gillen there.
The roughing called 18:02 against the Penguin right winger, Jaromir Jagr. The Rangers scoring 3 times already in this first period and lead the game 3-1. And they'll try and add to it right now. And this face-off will be to the right of goaltender Tom Barrasso. And the Rangers employ Nemchinov, who just scored a goal, and will work with Kerr and Gartner. And James Patrick and Brian Leach will be the point men. Penguin penalty killers, Ronnie Francis and Sean McEachran. Pulled back, it comes to Leach. Rangers have been excellent on the face-offs here in this first period. Patrick on the right side going to Leach. He'll stuff it over to Patrick, back to Leach. As a man open left wing, it's Gartner, doesn't go that way, went to Patrick, right point. Down to the near corner to Nemchinov, number 13. Back to Patrick, slide it over to Brian Leach in the far corner. Gartner skates halfway up the boards, going to Kerr, winds it behind the net. Barrasso cut it up from Nemchinov. McEachran trying to get to the loose puck, but he can't. Tim Kerr. And the Rangers go right point. Patrick left side over to Brian Leach. Leach put it down in the corner, but Larry Murphy has the puck and he shoots it away. And it comes all the way back into Ranger territory. And the Rangers now with a minute 20 to go on the Yager penalty. Minute 16 to go in the period. We'll go by that clock. The Penguins will be shorthanded. Kerr now slide it over to the left wing corner. Gardner took it. Over to Leach, right side, trying to get it to Patrick. It's a little beyond his reach. He goes in, pokes it behind the net. Murphy trying to get it. Gardner will. Gardner falls down. Bourque has the puck, and here come the Penguins back, short-handed. 3 men on the rush. Trottier takes the pass, looks for Murphy. Murphy shoot it, and he missed the goal. But now the Penguins have people trapped, and the Rangers make that in their favor. They do. Here they come on a 3-on-2. Nemchinov right side to Gardner. Gardner in front, man there. Nemchinov can't get it, and Barrasso stops it with his left pad. Now it'll be Grodnik firing the puck around to the far corner. 40 seconds left in the period. Bourque of the Penguins trying to clear, can't. Leach had it, but he lost it. Trottier 1-on-3, just shoots it ahead with a good effort there to get it back into the Rangers zone to take the heat out of a hot kitchen. Here come the Rangers with Doug Waite carrying the mail. Rangers almost got caught for too many men on the ice. Here's Francis now, chasing back shorthanded with the Rangers in to McEachran. Down the slot to Francis, he's right there, a shot, oh, he missed the net. He just missed that far post by inches. And the Rangers survive that, and here they come. Cirilla on the attack. 3-1 New York leading. 11 seconds left here in this first period. Leach will look up at the clock. He doesn't want to give it away. He'll come to center now and blast it all the way to the Penguin net. Barrasso will move it away from the goal, and the period will end. And that'll do it. The Rangers will have 2 seconds to work with in a power play at the start of period number 2. There's a little collision at the end of the period between Paul Stanton and one of the Rangers in the corner. That's Doug Waite. So we played one period here, and what has turned out to be kind of a shootout. The Penguins out shooting the Rangers 17-16, but they trail on the scoreboard. The Rangers 3, the Penguins 1 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
This is a Ghost Board from Long John Silver's. The hottest new, totally portable, fully accessorized, mega huge, way cool multi-beverage container with flip-top lid and high-tech robo-straw. Boots. Available in 4 excellent designs, it is the extreme ultimate summertime sports accessory. Just 99 cents with any Long John's meal. But beware of imitations. Some are ghost sports from Long John's, and some are not.
Go fish! Long John Silver!
Go for the $1.99 shrimp and chicken combo. And don't forget to add a piece.
What can you feel good about at Giant Eagle? How about... Don't forget. Of course, there's... Pretty good, huh? Giant Eagle, where there's a lot you can feel good about, especially the price.
Remember all the great action of the Stanley Cup with the Penguins Yearbook. Available now through the mail or visit the Pens Pro Shop at the Civic Arena. Savor the silver.
This is Channel 11 News, your only 24-hour news source.
I'm David Johnson. Police still on the lookout for a suspected killer. They have no firm leads on the whereabouts of Robert Wayne Marshall, wanted in the dismemberment slaying of Michael Hickmott. Marshall hasn't been seen since Monday when he rented a room at the Edison Hotel. City and county detectives are looking for possible connections between Marshall and several other unsolved murders in the area. We'll have more tonight at 11 on Channel 11 News Night Beat.